came to stand with this family. And for what exact reason? A so-called mistake, a handgun for a taser, is unacceptable. You know, when is enough enough?
Amen.
Can you blame Daunte for being terrified as a black man in the custody of police?
Amen.
When you just watched here in Minneapolis, George Floyd murdered at the hands of the very same police who was unarmed?
Wow.
Let's take a second to think about that. At some point, we need change. At some point, we need better policing. At some point, we need officers to be held accountable, charged, and convicted.
Amen.
Just because you are the law don't mean that you're above the law. That's all I got.
Thank you, Brandon. Trade the truth, you good? Okay. Let's back. Come on, China. Mister, get on that side. Yeah, come on. Okay. Now with George Floyd family standing right at their shoulders, we have the family of Daunte Wright. We have his mother, Katie Wright, his father, Aubrey Wright, and the mother of Daunte Wright Jr., Miss China Whitaker. Right now, you're going to hear from his mother and his father, and then you're going to hear from China and a few more of his family members. So please give your attention to Miss China Whitaker. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let's go with Miss Katie first. Miss Katie Wright. China, come build up. We got you.
I just want to talk a little bit about the day that I got the phone call from my son 2 days ago at 1:47. Was the worst day of my life. He called and said he just got pulled over by the police. And then he said that, I said, well, why did you get pulled over? And he said, because I had air fresheners hanging in the rearview mirror. I said, okay, we'll take them down. He said he also, the police officers were asking about insurance. And I said, okay, when the police officer comes back to the window, put him on the phone and I can give him all of our insurance information. A second goes by and I hear the police officer come back up to the window and ask Daunte to get out of the car. Daunte asked for what? Police officer said, because, I'll explain to you when you get out of the car. He said, am I in trouble? He said, we'll explain all that when you step out of the car. Daunte, and then they asked him to put the phone down. Daunte put the phone down. I heard some scuffling. He got out of the car, and I could hear the police officers and scuffling with him.
Take your time. We with you.
We love you, son. Then I heard the police officer ask them to hang up the phone. They hung up the phone. 3 or 4 seconds went by. I tried calling it back to back to back. I didn't know what was going on. And I never imagined this is what was going to happen. I just thought maybe he was being arrested. And then when I called back, the girl that he had in the car answered the phone. And it was on a FaceTime. And she said, she was crying and screaming, and she said that they shot him. And she pointed the phone towards the driver's seat, and my son was laying there, unresponsive.
My Lord.
That was the last time that I seen my son. That's the last time I heard from my son, and I have had no explanation since then.
We with you, Miss Katie.
We got your back.
Please give Mr. Wright, do you have a word to say? Okay. Okay. Now we're going to hear from China Whitaker, and we're going to have Miss Naisha Wright speak for her brother Aubrey Wright. So please give your attention to this young woman who now has to raise her son without his father. Miss China.
The last time I seen Daunte was when I had dropped my son off with his grandma, and I didn't know that was going to be the last time that I was going to see him. And I just felt like that's so wrong, because now my son, he don't have a dad. His dad didn't get to see him for his 2nd birthday or for any of his birthdays. And I'm just so messed up about it, because I feel like they stole my son's dad from him.
Thank you, China. They did steal them. And now, we're going to hear from Naisha Wright. And this is the this is the sister of Mr. Aubrey Wright. And she's going to speak from the heart and say some of the things that her brother is too heartbroken to say. So y'all please give your attention to Naisha Wright. Hey, you want to get so they can hear you?
Say his name!
Daunte Wright!
Say his name!
Daunte Wright!
They murdered my nephew! She killed my nephew! Every pistol, every taser, it has a safety on it. She saw that she had to release that. I watched that video like everybody else watched that video. That woman held that gun out in front of her for a long damn time. A long damn time.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
My nephew was 20 years old.
Tell him
20 years old. I don't care what nobody got to say about him. He was loved.
Yes.
He was ours. He came from us. My brother and my sister is hurt. Like I said, this is no broken home. This is no broken home. This is 23 years of love. 23. My nephew was 20. Did y'all not see my little great nephew? Did y'all not see that beautiful baby? He is fatherless. Not over a mistake, over murder. That's murder.
Murder.
Say his name.
Daunte Wright.
Say his name.
Daunte Wright.
I wear this shirt. And the craziest thing is to find out today that my family has connections to this man, to this family. His girlfriend was a teacher for my nephew.
My Lord.
My nephew was a lovable young man. His smile. Oh, Lord, the most beautiful smile. Y'all took that. My nephew's blood is on your hands. I've never seen my brother hurt like this before. Never. To hear my brother and to see my sister's pain. Come on. Hold her accountable. Hold her higher than accountable. You train people on this stuff. You train people on this stuff. 26 years. 26 years.